Alright, what's up guys? This is Taylor, and I'm doing the premium video for November 27th. So, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. And before we jump in, a quick reminder, we are doing the Black Friday sale, which I think ends in a few days here. So if you want to check out the indicators, head over to the website, use coupon code BFS24, and save a cool 30% off. But alright, we'll jump in. The S&P's here, with a final closing price of $59.98. I had a haircut about an hour before the close. I figured one way to make the haircut a little more interesting would be an iron fly at 6,000, which worked out pretty good. Came back home and a couple of minutes before the open, took that off for about $1,000 profit, and I took that profit, and then I went and bought more Apple. All right, finally getting a little traction this week on the Apple swing. Back on November 7th, we bought the 240 calls for January. We bought them for about $350, and then we jumped in here today and we bought some more. I even went and bought a few of the 250 calls. So looking at the weekly squeeze, we got the buy signal. We have a perfect score of 15. We got the white arrow for the A+ setup. If they can get through the highs around 237, not in a straight line, but bigger picture through the highs, the squeeze should fire. That should open the door for a move into 245, 250. And based on my current position size, I've got about 30,000 reasons I would love a move into 250. While I think the weekly squeeze is going to be the star of the show, what I also like about the setup here, the 3-day squeeze and the 2-day squeeze. Now, they don't have the white arrow yet. They've got a little work to do, mainly on momentum, but point being that nested squeeze dynamic across bigger time frames, if they all begin to fire one after the other, can make for a pretty big move. And what I think I want to do here until either we break out and get paid, or Apple falls apart, through my day trades, through the S&P trading, keep on taking my profits, buy more Apple. Worst case scenario, Apple falls apart. In addition to the typical risk, I'm giving back all the profits I threw at it. Best case scenario, Apple explodes. I'm making that much more. So if I can do these put credit spreads, these iron fly 0 day till expiration trades, and make $500 to $1,000, take the profit, buy more Apple. Parlay in the profits. So that all shapes up pretty good. And then looking at the rankings here, the good, the bad, and the neutral. The bad at the moment would actually be the SMH, which I don't love to see that. SMH with a negative 33, and then you've got Broadcom, TSM, and NVIDIA. Do I want to short them? Maybe not. But as far as something I want to wake up and buy on Monday, yeah, they leave a little bit to be desired. On the flip side, S&Ps get a 61 out of 75. Apple grades out nicely, Amazon, Netflix, the financials, utilities, communication. I think the Bulls got control and plenty to work with. Focus on leadership and pick your spots wisely. Another name that we're long at the moment, which I would like to buy maybe a bit more of, and a little bit off the beaten path for me, is Starbucks. We jumped in last Friday on the 4-hour squeeze. Got a decent push going. If they can keep it above $100, I think they take that daily squeeze and try to get a move going into the 105 call wall. If we can get 104, 104.50-ish, that might be close enough for government work. But yeah, above 100, I like it. Back under 100, after a push, after getting that momentum cross, you don't want price to end up back in the box. Above 100, I like it. Maybe on Friday, maybe on Monday, try to come in here and buy a bit more. Looking for a move into the 104, 105-ish. And then a couple more things that stick out to me here. One would have to be Google. Now, to be clear, I don't think Google is a trade for... I don't think you buy Google on Friday and expect to get paid quickly. What I'm showing you is a very early setup, but I'm going to show you nonetheless. I think collectively we all got to keep an eye here on the weekly squeeze. Right now we have the slingshot arrow. And what that blue arrow means is we have really good trend. The trend supports a move higher. We have really good structure. The foundation is bullish. The trend supports a move higher. The structure supports a move higher. The only thing we're really waiting on is momentum. Looking down here at the big three squeeze, if they can get that momentum line back above zero, that'll trigger the white arrow. It could all be a lot like back here. Weekly squeeze, momentum break, momentum crosses positive, then they kick off for a push into higher prices. Now, that could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 weeks down the road. If they can do that, if the squeeze fire is long, I think you're looking up one day and Google is a $200 stock. They break the thing short, Google could be a $140 stock. If you don't mind an early entry, maybe look out into February expiration. Begin to pick up a few of those 190, 195, 200 calls. An early trade, but maybe a few months down the road could be a big one. Some Apple, some Starbucks, some Google, and then the major thing I'm watching here aside from that would be Amazon. It grades out nicely, and I would like to think after 23 weeks of building up energy in a weekly squeeze, that should kick off a decent move into higher prices. Better than a quick push into 210, and then a fade right back down into 200. So far, I think it all holds up pretty good here. What I would like to get, really anywhere above that daily 21, would be the next, 15-minute, 30-minute hourly buy signal. Good example from last week would be Netflix. Right, this is back on Friday. And the key here, one of the keys was, all of last week, Netflix is number one on the rankings. So it's the strongest name on the board. And then on Friday, you get that really, really clean 30-minute squeeze. All right, buy signal, perfect score. You're getting the white arrow. Strongest name on the board. Really clean 30-minute squeeze. You had really good multi-time frame alignment. The other kicker was you had the call wall up here at 900. All right, spot gamma call wall, big round number, big psychological level. That 30-minute squeeze prints a buy trigger around 880. Strongest name on the board, really clean 30-minute squeeze, really good alignment. Window of opportunity to catch a $15, $20 push into that $900 call wall. I bought the calls for about $1 and change, and about 5 minutes later I sold them for about $2 and change. They went on for about 4 or 5. Point being, if I can get that in Amazon above 200, whether it be a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and an hourly, that I think is a spot to jump in, buy the calls, call for a push higher. And for the most part, guys, that is about it. Like I mentioned, looking at the SMH here, I don't have to short it. And do I really want to short it near the 200 SMA? Not really. But that's not the best looking chart. The SMH gets a score of -3. Broadcom gets a score of -5. And then the king of the hill, NVIDIA. We got the king of the hill with a 4 out of 15. Is it a good short? No, I don't think so. Is it Apple with a beautiful weekly squeeze? No, it's pretty far from that. Not going to short it, but I'm also not going to be in a big rush to buy it. Apple, Amazon, Starbucks, Google. Few things we're keeping an eye on. And then aside from that, let's finish it up here with a quick look at the Bitcoin. And I got to give the indicator credit. Granted, I made the indicator, so I'm kind of tooting my own horn here. But the white arrow caught the breakout on Bitcoin beautifully. It's in a weekly squeeze from July, August, September, October, all the way into November. You don't get anything in the form of a big move until the indicator prints the white arrow. We check off all the A+ criteria, then they break the bad boy out. So bigger picture, that's probably the easy part of the move. From that 21 EMA in that weekly squeeze into the target. However, we did get a decent back test this week. They dump it. At one point, you are under the hourly 200. At the close here, pretty good turnaround. Back above the hourly 21, back above the hourly 50, back above the hourly 200. Momentum shifting back above zero. Now they got themselves a fresh hourly buy signal. Into Friday, into next week, if they can keep on printing the buy signal, if anything, they might want to work it back up towards the highs there. But all right, folks, as always, thank you for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving. Hang out with the family, enjoy some good food, enjoy a couple of drinks, take your dog for a few extra walks. Again, check out the Black Friday sale. And until Friday, be safe. Talk to you soon. Adios.